As you know, everything in the career coaching industry is going crazy. We're seeing more people than ever seeking high-paying jobs. And if you have the expertise to help those people, there's no better time than building a six-figure career coaching business that generates the freedom lifestyle you always wanted to. But what are the secrets to scaling your coaching business? Everyone tells you to post on social media and network like crazy, but no one actually tells you the fundamentals of scaling your coaching business to generate consistent $10,000 months. So that is why in this video, I am going to reveal to you the 5 secrets to scaling your coaching business. And if you don't know who I am, and maybe you're wondering if I am just another guru worth listening to, my name is Daniel Botero, and I went from making less than $85,000 in my first 3 years of career coaching business to now generating over $85,000 a month. And I also help career coaches build 6- and 7-figure businesses with the same exact secrets I am going to reveal to you today. So if you want to break free from the time and money trap with proven systems and don't have the attention span of a goldfish, watch this video until the end and I will reveal to you the secrets on how to do so. Okay, so the first secret is a high ticket framework. You see, most career coaches make the mistake of trading their time for money, but the real successful career coaches, the ones that do over $10,000 a month, are trading their time for value. And what you need to do here is that you need to stop trading your time for individual sessions that you can only charge a couple $100s an hour, or even resume redos or LinkedIn makeovers, which again are price anchor with an hourly rate of less than a couple $100s, to actually charging for the overall transformation. You see, what people really care about is, are they going to get the results in this scenario, getting a job? And doing a mock interview or a career strategy session or a LinkedIn makeover doesn't do it justice. And that's why people are only willing to pay for a couple of $100s for those services. But whenever you can package this into a high ticket framework and you can make an offer that actually solves the real problem they have, which is getting that job, you're going to be able to charge more money. So instead of charging, let's say $1,000 for 4 sessions, I'd much rather you charge $5,000 to work with them until they get a job, which includes some one-on-one sessions, which will include the resume, it includes LinkedIn, it includes networking, and it includes interview prep, and it includes salary negotiation. And when you can package it all together, you can charge a lot more per client, dramatically increase the results of your clients because you control more of the overall process, and therefore ultimately not only are you able to make more money, but you need less clients to get to the $10,000. You only need 2, and get better client results, which will lead to better testimonials, more referrals, and overall more social proof for your business. So secret number 1 is all about how you package your career coaching offer from an hourly rate to a one payment fee that solves the real problem, which is working with them until they get the job. Secret number 2 to get into $10,000 a month is to focus on one marketing channel. And for career coaches, that should be LinkedIn. In the beginning of your business, you shouldn't try to be in every single platform and shouldn't be trying to master every single platform. You have so much limited time, money, and effort that you should be focusing all that attention on LinkedIn. Trust me, there's enough job seekers on LinkedIn that will be enough for you to not only build a 6-figure business, but even a 7-figure business. So what I want you to do is to prioritize all your marketing efforts into one social media channel, which is your LinkedIn. Yes, eventually you can start your TikTok, your Instagram, your YouTube channel like the one you're watching here. But before you get there, it is important that you master LinkedIn because that is where the job seekers are. So fish where the fish are. Let me give you an example how I use this for my own sake. When I first started, I was trying to do everything. I was on Instagram, I was on Facebook. I even started a TikTok channel for some time. I wrote a book, I started a podcast, and I did LinkedIn. I didn't even do YouTube at that time. And what happened is because my attention was all over the place, it was very hard, it was very diluted, it was very hard for actually me to master the platform, for me to do competitive analysis to see, okay, what are other career coaches posting, how are they getting so much traction? And it wasn't until I stopped using every other social media platform and solely focused on LinkedIn and invested into learning LinkedIn that really went from my LinkedIn having a couple of thousand followers to now having over 100,000 followers. And because of that, now my content is constantly getting hundreds and thousands of likes, which means tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of views. But now I'm getting so many more inbound leads, and we'll talk about the third secret, which is warm outbound leads. So really, when we can focus 1 or 2 hours a day into marketing on LinkedIn, creating content, engaging, posting, creating comments, you're going to be able to dramatically increase the lead flow, which will be sufficient enough for you to get 1 to 3 clients a month at a high ticket rate to get to that $10,000. Which this takes me on to secret number 3, and that is warm leads is where the magic happens. Let me explain. Most career coaches fail to grow their business past $10,000 because they're relying on inbound traffic and referrals. And that might be a great place to get your first couple of clients. But if your whole strategy revolves around waiting in your inbox to hopefully someone messages you about your service because they saw your post, you're leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. You see, the way I look at it is that there's 3 types of leads when it comes to LinkedIn. Let's exclude referrals for a second, because you're not going to get to 6 figures consistently in referrals in your first year. It's going to take a long time to get that flywheel effect going. So if we focus on LinkedIn, there's 3 types of leads on LinkedIn. You have inbound leads, which, yes, we know what that is. It's somebody messaging you, inquiring about your service. Those are the best leads. They're the ones that are more likely to close. But there's also warm outbound leads and then cold outbound leads. Warm outbound leads is anybody that likes, comments, and views your profile. These are individuals that know who you are, maybe haven't raised their hand and asked for help yet, maybe they haven't messaged you yet, but they're engaging with your content. They're checking out your LinkedIn profile. They are, like, say, exploring whether to see if you're the right coach or not. Those leads are a gold mine. And then lastly, you have cold outbound reach. These are people who are in your ICP. These are people that you think you can help, and you are cold messaging them, but they don't know who you are. So they have to get to know you better. But here's the thing. If you want to build a 6-figure coaching business, warm outbound is where the magic happens, because 80+% of the clients will come from this warm outbound, and majority of coaches are not exploring this avenue. They're just waiting for inbound. So what do I mean by warm outbound? Now that you are posting consistently every day on LinkedIn, because we're prioritizing LinkedIn as the only platform that we want to focus on until we get to multiple 6 figures, we are going to now look at every single the likes, comments, and views your profile. And I want you to then start the conversation. So, hey, Joe Doe, thank you so much for liking my post. What resonated with that post that made you want to like it? Or, hey, Joe, thanks for viewing my profile. I noticed that you stopped working at Amazon 3 months ago. How is your job search going? All we're trying to do here is to start the conversation. And if you're prioritizing LinkedIn and you're studying the algorithm and you're posting Monday through Friday on a consistent basis, there's no reason why you can't generate over 100 warm outbound leads a month. And I promise you this, if you have over 100 leads a month, you should be able to convert at least 2 to 4 of them a month. And if you're charging a high ticket pricing, which we talked about secret number 1, even if you're charging $2,500 because there's a limited belief that you might have today on what the service that you're providing, and you're getting 4 clients a month, you can see how getting to $10,000 is extremely doable. Now, let's talk about secret number 4, because this is also going to help you get more traction from your LinkedIn and generate those sales. And secret number 4 is that the riches are in the niches, especially when you're starting out. The only way to be the Goliaths of the industry is for you to have a very clear niche and an ICP. And to do this, I want to give you a secret formula, which is what I call the 80-10-10 rule. You see, you need to have a value proposition. You need to have a competitive advantage. And this is where I would say to you, 80% of what you're going to teach as a career coach is going to be absolutely the same as every other career coach. Like you telling somebody that the resumes are dead today is not true. Maybe they will be in the future, but today you still need a resume to apply. You telling someone that they don't need to interview for a job, that you could just network your way through it, is not true. You're still gonna have to support them with interview prep, because even if you are a great networker, that doesn't guarantee you the job that gets you to the interview. And so what you need to understand is that you still need to make sure that the strategies that you're teaching is 80% going to be the same. Now, what makes you different, and this is what's going to help you get your niche and help you understand that, is that the 10-10. So 80% is tried and true strategies. Don't reinvent the wheel. That's what's working. 10% is you, your background, your unique, your personal brand. So if you have a very solid experience, for example, in tech or consumer packaged good, or in a particular industry like accounting, then you should be a career coach for those individuals, right? And because of your unique value proposition. And the other 10% is your niche. If you can have a very clear niche in who you're helping, you're going to ultimately be able to target that audience, and they're going to connect with you. So if you're someone that wants to help people break into medical sales, like one of our clients, Samuel De Inca, right? He has this 80% tried and true strategy on resumes, networking, interviewing, salary negotiation, and so on. 10% is that Samuel has over 15 years of experience in medical sales. And then 10% is because he's helping people break into medical sales, and he's targeting his messages, his content to that niche. That's going to attract other job seekers that want to go into medical sales to work with Samuel over, for example, Austin Belsack, who has over 1 million followers and has a more generic or more broader niche. Personally, for me, I'll walk you through this as a personal story. I started as a general career coach, was broke, made $0. Then I said I helped college students because I had graduated college with multiple job offers, and that allowed me to get to my business with $3,000 to $5,000 a month, right? Then I said, can I help minority students, first generation minority students? And that went from $3,000 to $5,000 a month to $8,000 a month. And then I went to international STEM students. So every time I niched down, my business grew, and that's when I went to $85,000 a month. So you can see that every time I niched down, I had this fear of like, wait, I am actually like saying no to so many people. Is there enough people that want my help? And I was so fearful that I was saying no. But because I was saying no to 99% of people, that 1% of people that were in my niche, as international STEM students, gravitated towards me like if I was a magnet, and I was able to like 7x my business simply by changing the niche and having a very, very, very clear niche on who I helped. And that ultimately is what took the business to the next level. So don't take this for granted if you don't already have a very clear niche. And then now, secret number 5 is, okay, everything that we've talked about so far is increasing your high ticket pricing, you're using LinkedIn, you're focusing on the warm leads, you're attracting them because you have a very clear niche. But secret number 5 is, how do you get those leads to actually want to buy you and pay you a high ticket offer? And to me, the best way to do that is by nurturing them with a very good lead magnet. One that proves to them that you know what you're talking about. And by far, the best thing I've seen for career coaches when they're building their first 6-figure business or their first 6 figures is a live masterclass. Not a podcast, not a book, not an ebook. The reason that masterclasses convert really well is because they get to see your coaching style. They get to see a sample of what it would look like to work with you. So here's kind of how the funnel essentially works. You post on LinkedIn on a daily basis. You're replying to all the inbound leads or in the warm outbound leads. And if you don't have enough leads, you can do some cold outbound. You're inviting them to a free workshop. And in this free workshop, you give them a sample of what it would be like to work with you, and then invite them to a sales call. If you do that correctly, you should have 100 leads a month, right? At least 100 leads a month. Out of those 100 leads, 50 people are registering for the workshop. 25 people show up. Out of those 25 people that show up, 12 schedule calls. And out of those 12 that schedule calls, 10 show up, and out of those 10 that show up, you have 2 to 3 become clients. If you're charging, like say, $4,000, then you just have a $12,000 business. If you're charging $3,000, you just did a $9,000 a month business. And that's how you do it. And those are the 5 secrets to scaling your career coaching business. Now, since you watched this full video, you literally have the secrets you need to get started and consistently hit 10K months. However, if you try to implement this all yourself, it's not gonna go well. I mean, it's taken me over 10 years and over $150,000 in investments to get to where I am today. And while I've given you a bit of a shortcut in this video, there will be tons of bottlenecks and constraints that will come up. In the end, the time that it will take for you to do it yourself is going to cost you way more than what it's worth. And even worse, by the time you would have figured it all out, you would have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue because you didn't know what to do from the start. However, if you want to avoid all the pain and opportunity costs of building a thriving six-figure coaching business, from having the correct strategy and knowledge in place with the help of a team who knows exactly what they're doing, then click the link in the description to learn more about the Career Coaches Accelerator Pro. When you click the link below, you will find a free training video as well as more information. And whether you are starting from scratch and this is your first time attempting to building a coaching business, or you've been doing this for a couple of months or years but haven't gotten the traction you need, this is the perfect time for you to learn more about how my team and I can make sure that you're successful doing this. So again, click the link below to learn more about the Career Coaches Accelerator Pro, and I'll see you soon.